View from a balcony, building the blue lawn chairs next to the ice chest. Stuffed 2 grams in the blunt that we just blew. Now I'm getting blown by a bitch who I don't know her name. Gold chain hanging, got a few in the room, but I don't wear them out. Only wear them in the house, cause I shine so bright that I wanna blind you.
I just wanted to say thank you for the 104 subscribers. I just wanted to say that the What If Naruto Went Rogue is almost finished. Just one more episode and that's done. And the Naruto execution of that episode is almost done too. The new What If is coming out soon. Maybe tomorrow I'm posting a new What If. Well, and my new goal right now is getting to reach 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for the 104 subscriber. Thank you. Have a good day, guys. Enjoy the What If. Anything that will last, that and the stuff that will last, the store clerk and manager usually won't sell to me for a fair price. I'm usually forced to settle for ramen. Naruto said, look at him. He then looked up at Sasuke a little nervous. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad you're sharing your food with me, but I just thought I would tell you something interesting about me before I left. Naruto said as he walked over to the sink and filled the cup of water. Sasuke then started to fill his cup with hot water, and when he did, he walked into the living room only to see Naruto giving thanks for the food. It's amazing, Sasuke thought as he looked at Naruto. He's still able to smell like that. People threaten him like this, and yet he's still able to smile. The young raven haired male thought as he also sat down and starting to eat. The they finished around the same time, and when they did, Sasuke moved his cup to the side and looked at Naruto. Alright, now that we're done eating, I think it's about time we started discussing how you're going to leave, the raven haired male said, looking at him. Alright, so any plans? Naruto asked, looking at the male in front of him. Sasuke lowered his head and posed. The room became quiet as Sasuke began to think. How about he could get Naruto out of the village without drawing attention to him? He thought about it, and the only idea came to mind. Hey Naruto, how good are you at clone jutsu? Sasuke asked, looking at him. Pretty crappy, Naruto admitted, looking at him. Okay, well, there goes the first idea, Sasuke asked, looking at him. Alright, well, do you have any way to get a hold of some explosives? Sasuke asked, looking at him. I could have steal them, but since all the shop's owner hate me, I find it hard to believe that I would get the blame for it. Almost immediately, Naruto said, looking at him. And there goes idea number two. That only leaves the last idea, Sasuke thought as he looked at Naruto. Alright, we'll do. I do have a plan as to have we are going to pull it off. I'll explain that part tomorrow, Sasuke said, looking at him. He then stood up and looked at the blonde. Following me, I'll show you where you can sleep tonight, Sasuke said at him. Then they start to walk down long hallways, and the end of the hallway there was a room. Sasuke then opened the door and let Naruto inside. When the blonde entered the room, he saw that there was a bed, a desk, and a closet. Other than there wasn't much to it. Is this a spare room or something? Naruto asked, looking at the raven hair male. Well, it's used to be my brother's bedroom, Sasuke asked, looking at him. However, since he's not here anymore, I guess he won't mind if someone else sleeps on it, Sasuke said as he shut the door behind him. Naruto looked over the bed and slowly walked over it. When he laid down on it, he noticed that it was several times softer than one had given to sleep. He then sighed. He never been given a place to sleep that was comforting. I really will have to thank him before I leave tomorrow. Where were the blonde last words as he slow drift to sleep. However, the blonde woke to the unusual situation of feeling someone kicking him in the side. Come, I have already punished him of the bed. What else can I do for him? Sasuke said as he continued a light kick. The male said, "Alright, I'm up," said Naruto said. As he looked at the male, Naruto let out a tired yawn. And when he did, he felt a bag hit him in his face. When the blonde looked at it, he saw that there were several supplies inside of it. It was the blonde looked at the only other male in front of him. He sighed and looked at him. I was up all that night. I was up last night gathering supplies for you, Sasuke said, looking at him. Why? Was all the blonde could manage to say at the moment. Well, you said that your house was burned down, so I figured that you probably wouldn't last long without any supplies. So I got up last night and got what I thought was more important, Sasuke said, looking at the young blonde male in front of him. Alright, but why? Naruto said and looking at him. Of one other plan, and with it, you're going to need a decent sized hair head start, Sasuke said, looking at him. Sasuke then looked at him and turned around to head out of the room. Let's go. It better if we did it now rather than later, Sasuke said. As he left the room, Naruto nodded as followed behind him. They walked outside of the room. They walked down the alleyway. So, what is the plan, Naruto asked as they walked down the street. You don't need to know just yet, Sasuke said, as they made a sharp turn around the corner and ran down the streets. It was still early in the morning, so not many people were up yet, and those that weren't paying that much of attention to what was going on around them. When the two young males to the got where they could see the front of the front gate, Sasuke then turned around and looked at Naruto. He then pulled out a kunai and it to the blonde. Make sure to not use this. Sasuke said, look at him going. You're going to need it in case you are an attack or if you run out of supplies and you need it to some hunting. Raven haired male said, looking at him. Alright, but what do we need? Naruto asked, looking at him. Sasuke then looked down at the ground. This is going to be hard part of both of us. Both of us. You and me, however, this will not only get them away from the gate, but it will also give you some from of insurance, Sasuke said, looking at him. What do you mean? Naruto asked, looking at him. I mean, after you do this, you won't be able to return to Konoha again. After you do this, Sasuke said, looking at him. Alright, well, what is it? Naruto looking at him. You're going to have to stab me with the coup I gave you, Sasuke said, looking at him. What? Naruto said, not believing him. What he had just heard. However, the volume of what he had just came out of louder than he